I'm still full from the dessert I had last night. um, uh, okay. You can, it was a lot. I'm knocking stuff over. My goodness. I need some water. I hope you guys have your water too. Well, here we are, the end of day 2. Oh my goodness. Let's not save. I'm a little scared. Welcome back to 14 days with you. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and if not, I hope I make your day just a little bit better. I haven't been really playing this game, or I'm terrified to play this game because I am not getting very good recordings of it. It's kind of skipping all over the place, and I'm trying really hard for you guys to like at least get somewhat of something recorded for this, and it's really hard. When I tell you it's really hard, it's really freaking hard. So, just bear with me, okay, you guys? And I'm gonna scoot this over. I'm just setting stuff up, you guys. The usual sounds of the city life and the traffic pull me away from my slumber, and I wake to the sight of an unfamiliar ceiling. This wasn't my bedroom, and this certainly wasn't my bed. Last I checked, my duvets were patterned purple, a housewarming gift from Violet when I first moved into my apartment. Not this dark shade of black, of course not, because you're not in your room anymore. Confused, I rubbed the sleep from my eyes in order to fully take in the rest of the room. And, just like that, memories from yesterday came flooding back. Oh, right. Last night, Ren and I can feel my whole face flush as I recount what we did together last night, or rather, what he did. Strange. A part of me thought I was going to wake up with Ren by my side this morning, giving his clingy nature that I've grown all too familiar with. But still, his lack of presence had me wondering where he might be right now. Did he go back to sleep in his own room? Or perhaps he was already awake? Deciding there's no time like the present to find out, I stretch out the knots in my body, wake myself up fully, and jump out of bed. Well, hopefully we get some answers to where he is. As soon as I walk out into the hallway, a mouth-watering scent of something sweet and sugary greets me, and it almost has my feet floating towards the kitchen. Curiosity, or perhaps hunger, takes over my body, and before I know it, I find myself navigating through the maze of Ren's stupidly large apartment. She cannot get over the fact that he has a huge apartment and he makes a decent of money. Relax, girl. Relax, angel. Speaking of the devil. Well, look at... I can't get over the fact of how cute he is. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I will contain myself this time. Again, I said last time, no more giving up my body. This time, I'm serious. I'm not giving up my body anymore. There, Ren stands in the kitchen, hunched over the stove with a spatula in one hand and what looks to be a recipe pulled up on his phone in the other. He doesn't seem to notice my presence yet, so I take the opportunity to study him a little bit more. And although I could only see most of his backside and side profile, I could easily make out the concentrated look on his face as his gaze flips back and forth between his phone and the pan. But just when I think he's about to turn around, Ren lets out a surprised noise and immediately lifts the pan from the stove. Frick. Hearing Ren swear so casually was still something I had to get used to, but that wasn't what made me speechless right now. Sniffing the air, the smell of something burning invades my nostrils and has me retreating back into the living space for some fresh air. I mean, he's trying to cook you dinner. He is an adult, so it's not like he can't cuss. So it wouldn't surprise me if people cuss. I cuss. So I just don't try to do it as much on YouTube because, YouTube. But, I mean, you'll hear me slip every now and again. Wow. Did Ren really manage to burn a pancake? Or maybe he just wasn't that confident in cooking? Regardless, Seeing him put so much effort into something so trivial did manage to pull at your heartstrings. Deciding I've had my fill of watching Ren, I finally make myself known. How will we respond? Uh, hmm. Hug him from behind, try and scare him, call out his name, don't say anything. I mean, let's hug him from behind. Quietly tiptoeing behind the taller man, I wait for. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't be a schmorny anymore. That we're gonna compose ourselves and be a lady. I mean, I'm kind of one of those people. Like, if you guys vibe enough, why wait? Quietly tiptoeing behind the taller man, I wait for the perfect opportunity to strike before wrapping my arms around his waist and resting my head on his broad backside. Angel, I didn't hear you. Despite his flustered outburst, Ren doesn't seem to move from my hold. In fact, he almost seems to melt and lean into the touch instead. Almost as if to confirm my thoughts, I feel him wrap one of his arms around my waist to pull me in for a brief hug. Good morning, Angel. I was going to surprise you with breakfast in bed. Sorry, did I take too long? It was like I flicked an invisible switch, because all of a sudden, Rin was back to his usual timid personality that I've grown to know. You don't have to go through all that trouble for me. It's fine. I wanted to. Really. Here. Without giving me a second to spare, Rin conjures up a plate full of thick, fluffy pancakes from somewhere behind him, alongside with the toppings as well. Are you a syrup pancake type of person? Are you a fruits and whipped topping person? Or do you eat your pancakes plain? Just know, if you eat your pancakes plain, I am staring at you judgingly. Just so you know. But I am a fruits and whipped topping person, and I do not put syrup. If I can either have syrup or I can have fruit toppings. I can't do both. Too sweet means I can't eat it. I didn't manage to burn these ones, at least. Eat as much as you like. I'll have this one. Oh, he gestures to the burnt pancake still stuck in the frying pan. No amount of washing or scrubbing would restore that pan to its former glory. You don't have to eat the burnt pancake. You could have some of mine. I can literally only stomach maybe 2 pancakes. Giving Rin a pitiful look, I deposit a few fluffy pancakes onto my own plate before offering the rest to him as well. Rin, you've made enough to feed an army. Why don't we share, huh? It's not that bad. It's okay. I made them all for you, exactly how you like them. Oh? And how do you know how I like my pancakes? Deciding to tease him a little, I throw a little lighthearted accusation into the air and hope that he'll catch it. Huh? Oh, I don't. I suppose. Don't you normally enjoy pancakes this way? I thought maybe. There he goes again, getting flustered beyond belief while his cheeks flush a deep shade of red. It literally was adorable. Relax. I'm only teasing you. These pancakes are delicious, by the way. Oh, you were just joking. So I don't know much about the story, but I just feel like Ren is leaning into that "you've been watching me, you're stalking me" thing. His mood immediately seems to perk up once he hears my compliment. You like them? Really? You're not lying. Then I'll make them for you again sometime. Only if you want, that is. It's no problem at all. I really don't mind. How about you just focus on eating first? Aren't you hungry? I noticed the way Ren's eyes darken slightly as he rests his hip against the kitchen island. He leans down close enough that I could make out the faint marks and blemishes on his cheeks, yet far away to be just out of reach. I'm still full from the dessert I had last night. Okay. You can. It was a lot. I'm knocking stuff over. My goodness. I need some water. I hope you guys have your water too. Boy, my future husband is watching this now, and he's like taking notes, taking notes. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Huh? You can't be the only one who's allowed to tease people, Angel. Seemingly satisfied with my response or lack thereof, Ren lets out a pleased hum and instead moves away to busy himself with washing the dishes. My gaze follows him, and I absentmindedly catch a glimpse at the clock on the shelves. 8 o'clock on the dot. Wait a second, 8 o'clock on the dot? I was going to be late for work. As if picking up the panic behavior, Ren halts his movement and sends me a curious glance. Crap, I'm going to be late for work again. If I don't leave now, I'll still need to walk home and get changed and... Hey, it's okay, Angel, calm down. Look, your clothes from yesterday are washed and dried. Why don't you change into them, and when you're ready, I can drop you off at work? Ren! There I go again, relying on this enigma of a man and taking up too much of his kind hospitality. I was already overstaying my welcome by using his dryer and sleeping in his spare bed, but now here I was, eating his food and being exactly 5 minutes away from getting a lift in his car. Does he have a car? Wait, you mean to tell me that... Well, I guess walking would have been better. I actually do enjoy walking, so I can't say nothing, but... You walked all around and you have a car? He really should be the one being called Angel instead of me. Thank you so much. I owe you my entire life. And I thought I was dramatic. Another date with you will do just fine. Oh, please don't murder me. His soft smile was the last thing I see before I head back into the guest room to change. But before I can make it 3 feet away, Ren's voice calls out to me once more. Oh, but I should warn you, I don't exactly drive a car. What do you drive? Wait, what do you drive, sir? Turns out Ren didn't actually own a car like I expected. He owned a dang sports motorcycle. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. One of the things I've always wanted to do is date a guy that has a motorcycle, but I am so scared that people like to show off too much, and I'm clumsy. He might have me on the back seat and flip it backwards, and then next thing I know, I'm flying off the seats and stuff. So I know I'm good. All black, sleek, and scary, but what surprised me the most were the faded "Always With You" stickers, decals that had doomed his tank. So Ren was a fan of that webcomic as well. I always assumed the community was rather small. There wasn't much talk about the webcomic online, so it was nice to know someone else enjoyed it as much as I did. But just as I was about to bring the topic up, my vision goes dark as Ren places a helmet over my head with a smile. He fastens and adjusts the straps before motioning towards the back of the bike with an expectant look. I'd be so terrified. I'd be holding on for dear life. Admittedly, I was a bit hesitant to hop on that thing, but Ren assured me that he'd tell me what to do and keep me safe the entire time. Daunting couldn't even begin to describe how I felt when the engine came on, and I was certain Ren had scratch marks with how tightly I was clinging to him, but I somehow came out unscathed. I even managed to bag myself a nice warm hoodie that smelled like Ren, even if its purpose was to protect me from the wind and flying debris. And when we parted in front of the library with a friendly goodbye, Ren waited until I was inside the building before taking off. But I barely make it 3 feet inside before a mass of blonde hair enters my field of view and almost knocks me over. He didn't kill her! I'm sorry. I forgot what voice I gave her. Oh my goodness. I think I gave her a country accent. Angel, there you are, quick, I need your help. Eleanor's anxious demeanor catches me off guard, and I immediately do a sweep of the library for anything out of place. She's not dead! Yay! But I'm hardly given any time to take in my surroundings before Eleanor reaches for my arm and all but drags me behind the reception counter and towards a mountain of paperwork. Stacks upon stacks of books, files, newspapers, and manila folders covered the entire expanse of the desk, and for the briefest moment it almost resembles a messy archive repository rather than the workstation, her workstation, excuse me. What's all this? This was supposed to be sorted out yesterday. I swear I did it already. In fact, I know I did. I remember leaving it all in Cohen's office before I left work yesterday. So you could imagine my surprise when I saw it back on my desk this morning. Did you do it right? I mean, maybe he put it back because he's like, no, this is absolutely wrong. Redo it. Eleanor seemed genuinely concerned, especially with how she's feeling about pacing back and forth in front of me. It was almost like she's seen a ghost, and if I didn't know any better, I honestly would believe it. Please help me. If Cohen finds out I somehow messed up again, I don't know what will happen. Hey, don't worry. I'll help you. Don't worry at all. No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, absolutely not. No, yes, I would. I'm too helpful, too nice. Even if she was mean to me, I would probably help her. And I doubt Cohen will get mad. You know how he is. I suppose you're right. Her shoulders seem to visibly relax at my words, and she slumps into the chair with a heavy sigh. Thank you so much, Angel. Do you think you can manage the stack of books? I'll handle all these files. Without missing a beat, lest our boss magically appears somewhere behind us, we immediately get to work. Absolutely. Time flies by quickly when I have my chatty co-worker to keep me company. She fills me in on how the freak storm caught everyone off guard, and how some of the Patreons shared the same idea of seeking refuge within the library as well. Apparently, Eleanor was the only one around to keep an eye on things, and from the sound of it, she seemed to take on the leadership role like a pro. Still, discussing her whereabouts had me thinking. That reminds me, where did you go the other day? The other day? What do you mean? You remember Ren, the pink-haired guy? Oh, Loverboy. Yeah, him. After we had that conversation with Ren, I never saw you afterwards. Oh, let me think. I watch as she inclines her head to the side to think, and all too quickly, she snaps her fingers and gives me an affirmative nod. Oh, that's right. Well, this is a bit embarrassing, but I ended up going home early. I must have accidentally bumped into something while cleaning the storm room the other day, and before I knew it, one of the shelves came tumbling down on me. It wasn't until a little while later when Conan found me and pulled me out. You knocked over the entire shelf? And wait, wasn't Conan in the break room with us asking us where she was? I remember talking to him in the break room and asking him something, or maybe I didn't ask him. I don't know. I remember talking to him in the break room, but I don't think we talked about Eleanor at all. You knocked over the entire shelf? Mrs. Creston. Knowing I was only teasing, Eleanor sends me a sheepish smile and bows her head to hide her reddening cheeks. But now that I think about it, the shelves in the stockroom had always seemed relatively stable to me. My coworker wasn't known for her strength, so it didn't make much sense for it to topple over that easily. But thankfully, Eleanor elaborates more, almost as if she could hear the gears in my head working overtime. Well, I suppose it was a tad bit odd and mean. I've worked in a library for more than 5 years now, and not once have I heard so much as a creak from those shelves. It does seem strange, yeah. Well, I have no doubt that Conan will be installing new shelves soon. Oh, speaking of, did you notice the awnings outside of the library? I suppose the sudden storm from yesterday had something to do with it, in fact. Or maybe I heard it from the news today. I heard that all the rain. Our conversation gets cut short as I watch Eleanor's attention drift behind me and towards the flashing red lights above one of the shelves. Duty calls, I guess. As soon as she stands, I shoot her an appreciative smile, which she returns with an apologetic one of her own and meanders her way towards the aisles. Well, at least they get along. Some coworkers can't even talk to each other. Now left to my own devices, I go back to sorting through the books and putting them into separate piles. I managed to get a solid 10 minutes to myself before the sudden sense of unease creeps up on me. It felt as though someone was watching me, so I take a curious sweep across the vicinity to try and locate the source. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. People are studying and others are quietly typing away at computers. And I could even spot the back of Eleanor's head from her spot near the fantasy fiction aisle. Nothing was out of place, yet the unnerving feeling of having eyes on the back of my head still lingered. In fact, now that I thought about it, it was eerily similar to the feeling I got when I was walking home a few days ago. Depends on if it's a library that has a whole bunch of windows. I need water. You could be feeling that because of that. I mean, if it's got a bunch of windows, people walk by and look at you, you would feel a little uneasy. Violent words about someone breaking into the apartment echoed in my mind before all of a sudden dawns upon me. The supposed person watching me, could it somehow be linked? No, definitely not. Shaking my head, I try to dismiss those unsettling thoughts before they start to develop into something more sinister. There was no one watching me. After all, there was hardly anything impressive about me to warrant a stalker in the first place. Everybody thinks that. And let me tell you, you can think that all you want. Like, yeah, there's no way I can have a stalker. Look at me. I'm a chubby girl with barely anything to, to keep anyone's attention. Can barely even get a man. And then you'd be like, no, yeah, there's no one watching me. Because, I mean, look, I'm a loser and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, they're literally in the bushes watching you. So you got to be careful with that wording. Like, oh, yeah, no one wants to watch me. Because trust me, there is going to always be someone that likes you no matter what. You can run into 1,000 dudes that'd be like, ew, no, I would never date you. And guess what? They will still be watching you. And the same goes for the guys. You can go run into 1,000 women that don't like you. And yet there will be that one girl that's eyeing you the whole entire time. I was as plain as they come. And if some butthole really did break into my house, they left empty-handed. I mean, yeah, you are kind of broke and your house is dirty and you have rats. At this point, if I break in your house and I see a rat, I'm leaving. I'm not even grabbing anything. That alone clearly proved that I don't own anything worth stealing, except maybe my limited edition Attack on Giant figurines. But even then, I remember thoroughly inspecting my entire apartment once I got home. Nothing was out of place, nor looked like it had been touched. Everything was as I left it that morning. Yet it still didn't explain why I was feeling this way. Fear and apprehension seemed to overwhelm my senses so much that my mind barely registered the sound of something rustling, and I looked down to see that I had been worrying the papers in my hand for the past few minutes. Have I been stressing out that badly? Geez, I really was letting all this paranoia get the best of me. Shaking my head once more, I decided it's best not to let those thoughts fester and grow into something far bigger than it should be. No one broke into my apartment and no one was watching me right now. I was making a mountain out of a molehill and nothing was going to scare me. It could be Ren. Again, he gives me stalker vibe. I feel like he's stalking me. Hello? Oh, Kiara? Hello? Whoa. By the way, she is cute. Oh my goodness. Like doubly yum yum yum. Mommy wants. I need. Instead of a creepy stalker dressed in all black, I was met with blonde hair and expensive looking clothing. Was this the person I felt watching me? It was difficult to make out her words over the loud, rapid sound of my heartbeat, so I tried my best to calm down before responding. Sorry, I didn't notice you come in. Welcome to the Conan Bay Library. Can I help you with anything? I hope I sounded professional enough, though I'm sure there was still the lingering sense of fear in my words and my facial expression to match. But it starts to dissipate as I take in the woman's appearance. Her green eyes seem oddly familiar to me, but what gives it all away is how the woman slightly inclines her head to the side as she looks over me with concern. Surely not. Was that? I don't suppose... Are you Kiara? Eleanor told me all about you. In the flesh. I am actually here to visit my darling sister. Okay, it's her darling sister, so she's going to have a country accent too. Would you believe? But now you've piqued my interest. She shoots me a harmless wink and resets her hands atop of the receptionist counter. Wow, even the clinging of her jewelry sounds expensive, and I can't help but look at her in awe. Tell me, what else has Nori said about me? How do you respond? Your taste of fashion. She loves your taste of fashion. Let's every girl loves when somebody be like, oh yeah, they like the way you dress. Oh, don't say that. She better. I didn't pursue a career in fashion for nothing. Did you know I designed her handbag? It's from the latest spring collect. Angel. As if summoning Eleanor herself, she emerged from somewhere behind me and joins us at the front desk. Kiara, what are you doing here? There she is. What? Am I not allowed to see my little sis? I'm at work right now. You could have texted me in advance. But I wanted to surprise you, and look, I come bearing gifts. At that, Kiara places down a few bags branded with high endpoints and designer logos. Sorry, darling. If I knew I'd be meeting you here, I would have brought extra. Oh, she's such a sweet sister. I wish I had a sister. Oh, sad. Anyways. But I'm sure there's something for you in one of the bags as well. Pick whichever Eleanor doesn't want. I genuinely wished I could be rich enough to say something like that. Me too, shoot! The sisters seem fully engrossed in each other's presence, so I leave them alone so that they can have their moment to catch up. Well, again, isn't that nice? After all, I didn't know how long it's been since Eleanor and Kiara had seen each other. The mountain of work in front of me wasn't going to sort itself out in the meantime. But before I can silently slip away and sit back down, a tattooed arm boxed me in and command my attention. Oh my God, is it Teo or whatever his name is, Theo? And for a second time today, the expensive smell of wealth and luxury floods my senses. Only this time, I knew the person it belonged to. Don't tell me it's him. It is. I knew it. Hello, Teo. How are you? Damn. Who are they? Seemingly out of nowhere, Teo appears with that familiar smirk on his face and an unbothered drawl in his tone. He's absolutely shameless with how his eyes take in both sisters' appearances before he's leaning more of his weight into his arm and shooting me an expectant look. Sir, get out of my face. Like, I would have punched him by now. She's too nice. Angel's too nice. He would have been punched. Don't even think about it, Teo. Trust me, you don't want to know what I'm thinking right now. Given how he leans even closer to my side with a salty grin, I end up believing his words. After all, I wouldn't put it past Teo to think up multiple ways to cause a scene in his free time. Not jealous, are you? Why would I even? Whether or not it was my sudden outburst that captured their attention, Eleanor and Kiara finally seems to notice us, and I thank my lucky stars for the chance to escape this conversation. Perhaps I could sneak off to the employees' lounge while everyone was busy talking. I'm sure. I wouldn't leave him because, God, he's fine. I would not leave his fine self up here with them ladies. Absolutely not. You work here too? I've got a few things here that you could check out. Ew. Ugh. Despite my disgust and Teo's blatant flirting, Eleanor seems to be eating it up with a slight blush on her cheeks. Oh, actually, I'm just visiting. I don't work here, but little Nori over there does. I'm sure she can help you out. Don't push him on your sister. Don't push him on your sister. Don't push him on me, girl. Jesus. Despite her friendly tone, Kiara seems to passively shut down Teo's attempt at flirting and redirect it towards Eleanor instead. Yet Teo doesn't seem to be picking up on it, instead choosing to lean a little more against the counter, so that his muscles flexed under his form-fitting shirt. Ugh. Like, sir, I'm looking too, but I mean, it's the visual novel, guys, I'm sorry. And crosses his ankles. You're not from around here, are you? I'd remember a face like yours. The name's Theodore, by the way. But cuties like you can call me Teo. Charmin', I'm Kiara. And no, I'm only in town for a few weeks. I'm visiting my relatives and finding some inspiration before I head back home. Inspiration, huh? I could show you around. Listen to me, Kiara. Please, I am begging you, just use and abuse this man and go back home. Don't let this man freaking corrupt you. Don't date him. Use that thing. You know what I'm talking about. Use that thing and then leave him. Well, aren't you fun? What about my baby sister? Huh? But I'm older than you. Come on, live a little, Nori. You always tell me you're holed up at work all the time. I suppose, but... Looks like you're in need of a bit of fun. I can help you with that. Have either of you been to the aquarium yet? It's open recently. Ugh. I hate to see a beautiful woman fall for such a shitey man. It breaks my heart every time. Like when I see a girl, she's so beautiful, she's got stuff going for her, intelligent and all, and she falls for a terrible dude, no matter how cute he is. It's like, I'm so sorry for you. I would have immediately asked my friend, like, do you know him? And like, I would have went to Angel and be like, do you know him? Is he cute? I mean, is he, like the right guy? Because he is cute, but I mean, is he like the right guy to be talking to? Like, absolutely not. No. Not yet, but I have to give the offer a pass, I'm afraid. Aquarium's not your style? You're not my style. That's right, Kiara. Ouch. Despite the low blow to his ego, Teo didn't look the least bit offended. In fact, he seemed to thrive off of it. But as if fate felt the urge to intervene, Kira's phone suddenly goes off and startles everyone. Sorry, give me a sec. I need to take this call. I'm so happy that she didn't fall for it. Kiara, you're my favorite person now. You are absolutely my favorite person right now. She slips away before any of us could have a chance to respond, and without missing a beat, Teo immediately takes her previous spot beside Eleanor. And what about you? Me? Don't see anyone else around, Princess. Oh, well, I mean, I think it'd be fun, but I suppose it would be a bit awkward if it was just you and me. You heard her, doll. As if finally acknowledging my presence, Teo turned to me with an expectant look on his face, like I'm supposed to be there? Absolutely not. Why don't you tag along? I'll even see if Leon wants to join the fun. It'll be like a double date. Ew. At that, Eleanor visibly seemed to relax a little bit. I spare a quick glance in her direction, and I can pick up on the barest hint of hope in her eyes. Wait, she wanted to go on a date with Teo? I don't know, Elle. Oh, what? Got better things to do? Look, I'll pay for everything. I can even pick you up as well if you want. Sounds good? Oh, I wish Angel would tell her, like, the past that they have. Like, girl, I dated this man. He's trash. Not that I'll ever openly admit to Teo, but his offer was finally starting to sound tempting. I mean, free food and free outing? It was too good to refuse. However, how will you respond? Ooh, I could just say no thanks and then let Eleanor know, like, look, he's not a good guy at all. I'm saving my friend before anyone says anything. Like, I get it. She may be mad at me after this. But I'm saving my friend. No thanks. Absolutely not. Teo scoffs at my answer while Eleanor visibly deflates. Sorry, guys, but I just don't feel up to it. No, I get it. Please don't feel pressured to do something you don't want to, Angel. I can tell that you've been on edge lately. I wouldn't want to add any more unnecessary stress. Yeah, cool, whatever. Oh man, I feel bad for Eleanor. I just don't feel bad for Teo. The heck with him. I'm sure Jay would be happy to join us instead. Without so much as glancing in my direction, he pulls out his phone and immediately starts to text someone. Eleanor awkwardly shuffles on her feet at the abrupt end of the conversation, but otherwise, she seemed to pick up on Teo's court behavior. Please don't go with him, Eleanor, by yourself. Great. It couldn't possibly get even more awkward than this. Oh, Cohen's here. There you are, Angel. I didn't realize you were busy. Finally, it was as if someone had heard my prayers this time. Cohen emerged from somewhere behind me. What was up with that today? And offers me an escape from the current conversation. And without missing a beat, I turn towards my savior and spare him a thankful glance. I make sure to silently apologize to Eleanor as well, clearly uneased with the thought of leaving her alone with Teo. But she seemed all too happy. I don't like how this is going. But she seemed all too happy with how she subtly shoos me away with the hand behind her back. Why didn't Angel just say something? Sure, I can slip away for a moment. Do you need something? Just need an extra pair of hands to sort through some boxes. But if you're busy, I'll manage it myself. It's fine. I could use a breather. Okay, so perhaps I didn't need to announce that so joyfully. With warm cheeks, I turn back towards Eleanor and Teo and send them one final apologetic look before following after Cohen. Oh man, she should have helped her friend. I would have been like, girl, don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Apologies for this. I didn't mean to steal you from your friends. This happened to be sorting through all the books a coworker managed to knock over this morning and making sure they were all in the correct categories before putting them back into the cart. It felt eerie similar to what I had been doing previously with Eleanor, only this time there weren't any tail-shaped annoyances to keep me company. But man, I swear, Cohen had to be the only boss who'd be perfectly fine with their employees slacking off to talk with their friends instead. He hadn't said a word about Teo and possibly Kiara, depending on how long he'd been standing behind me, and seemed more okay with us huddling around the receptionist desk. Bah. Deciding not to push my luck, I returned Cohen's soft look with one of my own. It's fine, don't worry about it. I've been meaning to ask you something, actually. Has everything been going all right with you? Nothing shady has been happening lately. What do you mean? You haven't heard the news? There's been a few murders happening in the Bay Area recently. Admittedly, I have been worried for your safety as of late. You live by yourself, correct? Yeah, but I've recently had a friend stay with me. Now that I think about it, he's also been concerned for my safety. That's good. I'm glad. Listen, if something ever happens. Cohen awkwardly glances over his shoulder before returning his gaze back to me. Nothing but sincerity stares back. Aww, that's so that's so cute that your boss cares about you. And I find myself in a stunned silence. Here, it's my personal number. But due to the lack of clarification, I ended up sending him a confused look instead of thanking him. I know you've recently moved back to Coral Bay, but you've yet to put someone down as an emergency contact. I'm worried you won't have anyone to call in case something does happen. I want to make sure you are safe at all times. Well, she has Violet, if something happens. Technically Rin, but Rin also might be the person that causes the problem. She has Leon and Jay. She has people, but it's nice to have your boss. I mean, I'm sure he can throw a punch or two. Oh, thank you, Cohen. Of course. He gives my shoulder a gentle pat before resuming his original task. The conversation falls back into an easy, comfortable silence, and I pocket his number before pouring all of my focus towards the books laid out in front of me. Let's hope that this doesn't get you in trouble with you-know-who. The rest of my shift passes by uneventfully, and at some point, Eleanor informs me that Kiara had to leave for a work-related matter and wouldn't be coming back for a few days. Still, it was really nice to finally meet Eleanor's sister, and it was even kinder of her to gift me a fountain pen before she left. Or at least I assumed it was Kiara. I found the expensive-looking box sitting on my desk once I returned, and I wasted no time in opening it up to examine the contents. The pen itself appeared to be made from extremely high-quality material, and the cursive A and R logo looked rather fancy underneath the light. A plus R? Well, I mean, I guess maybe that'd be the logo of people that create the pen, but I mean, if you're saying like, oh, that's a logo for Kiara, what's Kira's real name? I made a mental note to get something for Kiara as well before pocketing the pen next to Cohen's number and packing up my belongings for the day. But as I'm slipping out the library's back door, I noticed Teo, Eleanor, Leon, and Jay all standing around an alleyway entrance in an avid conversation, planning their outing tomorrow, no doubt. And despite the cold treatment Teo gave me earlier for rejecting his offer, it was nice to see Eleanor out and making new friends. Deciding not to ruin their fun, I quietly sneak out the back door and take the opposite route home. But something at the back of my mind must have seriously been bothering me, because I didn't even feel like visiting the manga store on the way back. Oh, honey, you gotta get your relaxation in. Jeez, whatever it was, I hope it'll pass soon. I mean, fingers crossed. Once home, I wasted no time in shrugging out my work clothes, preparing something to eat, and getting ready for bed. The newest chapter for Always With You will be out soon, and I was interested in to see what happens between the main character and their love interest next. Of course, no one could ever replace my beloved Haruko, but he was slowly starting to climb his way up the list. Okay, so we ain't gonna end it in giving Ren our nookie. Again, if Ren comes over, we stand our ground and we won't give it up. Unlike some of the other mainstream love interests, he treated the main character with so much respect and adoration, and seeing their strong bond somehow filled an unknown, empty gap in my heart. Perhaps it was no more than wishful thinking, but I've always longed to have deep connection like that with someone. Yet, in all my years of living, I've never actually found anything remotely close to it, let alone in the city or in Coral Bay. Sounds like she actually really wants a relationship, and she does have a crush on Ren, and as long as he's not a serial killer, he's a good choice. And worst case scenario, I mean, nah, we're not even gonna think Teo. Absolutely not. I couldn't help but let out a heavy sigh at that before realizing just how silly I was acting and replacing it with a scoff instead. Oh, whatever. At least I still have my fictional crushes. But just as I was about to pull my phone out and check if the latest chapter is out, Leon's name illuminates on my screen. And almost like second nature, my finger taps the answer button without so much as a second thought. His warm voice in the ocean immediately greets me, and I find myself wondering, why is he still at the beach at this hour? Probably starting to pack up after a day of volleyball with a few of his friends, no doubt. Hey yo, Angel. You're not busy right now, are you? I know it's kinda late. Leon? Hey, not at all. I was just getting settled into bed. What's up? So, I met up with Jay and Tay today. He was going on about a little get together he had planned for tomorrow. Or, the one involving your coworker. Oh boy, here we go. Well, he told me that you didn't feel like tagging along, and Leon seems to trail off after that. I can almost hear the gears turning inside of his head as he tries to think of a way to say. Actually, can I be real honest with you for a sec? I actually called to see if you consider changing your mind. You see, something big came up with Jay, so he can't make it tomorrow. I don't really want to cancel on Teo either, but I feel like it would be a little awkward if it was just me tagging along on his supposed date with Eleanor. I could definitely understand where Leon is coming from. I mean, just mere hours ago, I found myself in the exact same predicament. So, if they give me the option, I'm going to say yeah. I'm not going to leave my friend hanging. I honestly didn't see the point in tagging along, especially if the date had nothing to do with me. But leaving Eleanor alone with Teo would definitely make things awkward for sure. Before I can dwell on it any further, Leon's voice pulls me. Ouch! I hit my hand! Sorry. Leon's voice pulls me from my thoughts. Ow! I'm sorry, y'all. So, I was thinking if Elle and Teo end up hitting it off, maybe we could sneak off and go to the beach instead. It's not like we'd be needed after that. And besides, I still owe you from our favorite ice cream stand, remember? Oh, I love ice cream. I would definitely go on an ice cream date with anybody. I couldn't help but laugh after that. Oh, please. That promise was from years ago. I honestly thought you'd forget all about it by now. No way. A promise is still a promise. If you let me copy your math homework, I'd buy you your favorite ice cream in return. Bet you didn't think the ice cream stand would close for a week, huh? Or the fact that I'd be somewhere overseas a week after that. Alas, Mini-Me didn't have the ability to predict the future, Angel. Yet. Someone had to humble you. Oh, come on. I was barely 10 years old. Who's gonna humble a kid? Leon's laughter fills the silence, and I can't help but think back to the all-too-familiar ice cream stand on the pier. One Dairy Cream thought soon leads to another, and the next thing I know, I'm thinking about the date I shared with Ren. Would he like ice cream? What flavor would he choose? And after what happened yesterday, would he even go back to the pier in the first place? Oh, so yeah, I feel like he would. It's just, he probably wouldn't enjoy Teo being there. While he didn't seem like he had an issue with Eleanor, he did have a little issue with Eleanor. When he didn't seem like he had an issue with Eleanor, I don't think he'd have an issue with, I think he'd have more of an issue with Teo than Eleanor. Excuse me. Sorry. I looked at my phone for like 5 seconds because I was like, what the heck? My thoughts only spiral after that, and I find myself wondering if I had a chance to run into him tomorrow. Aww. After all, Corlin Bay isn't that big of a coastal town, so it wouldn't be strange for us to run into each other again sooner or later. I mean, I literally met Ren at my own workplace because we shared a few common interests in books. His just so happened to be about the native flora. So, again, I Please don't be a killer, Ren. That kind of stuff wasn't something either of us could control, and I was most likely looking too deep into it. Still, I barely had the opportunity to see him at all today. In all honesty, I was starting to miss him. In fact, it was almost as if I was beginning to have pink hair enigma withdraw or something. Maybe. Angel, you still with me? Shite, I was spacing out on Leon again. Sorry, what did you say? Boring you to death with all my yearning, am I? Don't worry. I'll let you get some rest after this. I just wanted to know if you'd reconsider. I promise I won't let Teo ruin our day tomorrow. Besides, it'd be good to catch up once again, yeah? Just like old times. Should I? How will you respond? I'm gonna accept Leon's... Why is these ones glitchy? They scare me when they glitch. Decline Leon's offer, accept. I'm gonna accept Leon's offer. You hear that? That is creepy. Odd. Perhaps it was because of a slim chance to run into Ren again, but I find myself agreeing after all. Besides, it no longer felt like Teo's request, but rather Leon's request. And unlike that musclehead, I had no problems with my childhood friend. I felt better knowing that Leon would be tagging along with me tomorrow. And who knows, maybe even Ren might make another one of his appearances. I certainly hope so. Sigh. I was starting to feel a bit embarrassing with how much I've been thinking about him lately. He really did take up a lot of my thoughts, didn't he? With the pink hair enigma in mind, I confirmed my plans for tomorrow with Leon before saying good night and ending the call. I wonder what tomorrow will bring. End of the demo. Well, I know that the creator is going to make more for this. I am sorry to leave you guys hanging like this, but it's not like I can go back in and do more, can I? I can. I absolutely can. But I want you guys to experience this too. This is kind of like the thing that I was doing with the Corey. Whatever ending I get, that's the ending I get. But I want you guys to experience the game yourself. Or if you want me to try to get an ending for something, just comment what ending you want me to get. But right now, thank you guys so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. As you guys can see, it says thanks for playing. Have you tried getting all the different endings yet? Question mark. If you're looking for even more 14 days with you, sorry, my phone is going off, content, check out our official Discord and Tumblr with updates and lore drops. So again, there was only 3 days right now, but I'm sure that the creator's going to release more. It literally says 14 days with you. So thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And with that, I will see all of you in the next episode. Peace and love. Bye.